this is Carla and welcome back to the studio. In this episode of Step It Up Saturday, we will be showcasing the Translucent Florals bundle. This can be found in our current September to December 2023 mini catalog. So let's get started with our first card. So I have a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of Starry Sky cardstock scored at 4 1/4, and I also have a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of basic white cardstock. So for our card base, we're going to go ahead and fold it and burnish. Okay, put that aside. And then for our stamping, we're going to use Orchid Oasis ink, Starry Sky ink, and Granny Apple Green. Okay, so we're going to start with our greeting, "You're the best," and we're going to stamp that in Starry Sky. We're going to put that, make sure I'm in, okay, I'm in the thing. And we're going to put that right down here. And then for our flower, we're going to stamp that in Orchid Oasis. And we're going to put that right over here. And then for our stem, we're going to use Granny Apple Green. And for our leaves as well, we're going to use Granny Apple Green. Okay. So we're done with Granny Apple Green and Starry Sky. Okay, so I have a blending brush and I'm going to use my Orchid Oasis ink, and I'm just going to brush a little bit of ink along the edges. Put a little bit more down here. Okay. Let's close this up. Okay, we're going to go ahead and adhere this to our card base. Then we are going to add a glue dot right here to the base of our flower. And I'm going to be using the Orchid Oasis Baker's Twine. This is in the 2022-2024 in color Baker's Twine pack, and this is in our current annual catalog. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to tie a little bow. Okay, why am I struggling here? Okay, pull that out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and remove the backing to our glue dot. Go ahead and add this bow. And we're going to go ahead and trim. And then we're going to add some embellishments. I'm going to be using the iridescent pearl basic jewels, and these can be found in our annual catalog. So we're going to add a large one down here, and then we'll take two smaller ones, add one there, and add one right there. Okay, so that is our first card. So now on to the second one. Okay, so for card number 2, we have an 8.5 by 5.5 inch very vanilla thick cardstock scored at 4 1/4. We have a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of very vanilla. We have a scrap of very vanilla that we'll be using for our stamping, die cutting, and for punching as well. And we also have a scrap of cherry cobbler cardstock that we'll be using for punching as well. So first, let's go ahead and fold our card base. And go ahead and burnish it. Okay, so we'll put that aside. This piece here will be embossing this with the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder. This is currently in our annual catalog. I will go ahead and I will set this aside because we'll be doing our die cutting and our embossing all at the same time. Let me just put that aside. And so we'll go ahead and we'll bring in our pieces where we'll do some stamping. So the colors I'm going to use is Early Espresso, Crushed Curry, Pumpkin Pie, and Pecan Pie. Just move that stuff out of the way. Okay, so we are going to take the leaf image and we're going to stamp this 3 times. We're going to do one in Pecan Pie. Stamp that over here. And we're going to go ahead and clean that off. We're going to stamp one in Pumpkin Pie. This one right here. Clean that. And then stamp one more in Crushed Curry. Let's see. Can we fit it in here? Does not look it. Hold on. Let me go get another piece of very vanilla cardstock. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Thought they would all fit on there. So for our, let me just go and clean this, and I'll do Crushed Curry. And I'll stamp that right there. Okay, well, so we'll set these aside. These will be die cut. Okay, so then for our little scrap of Very Vanilla, we're going to stamp the happy birthday greeting in Early Espresso. And we're going to go and stamp that like right in the middle. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and close up our ink pads. We are done with this. Okay, and now we'll bring in our punch, and for the scallop we're going to punch out our cherry cobbler, and then we're going to punch out our happy birthday in the smaller one. Okay, those pieces. Okay, we're going to go ahead and adhere our Very Vanilla piece to our cherry cobbler scallop. Okay, we'll put a couple of dimensionals on that. Okay, we'll set that aside, and now I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to do our die cutting and our embossing. So for our embossing, because it's a 3D embossing plate, I'll be using our base plate and our gray plate. And then for the die cutting, I'll be using plate number 2, plate number 3, our cardstock and our die, the number 3 plate, and this will be underneath, and we'll run it through. Now to hold the dies down, I will be using Post-it removable labeling tape, and I will go ahead and link this in the description of the video. So for the die cutting and the embossing, I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video for this part so that way we're not here all day. Okay, be right back. Okay, took care of that. This aside. Okay, so here's all our bits. Okay, so we're going to go and adhere our embossed layer onto our card base. Now you can see some print on here. You can see the word harvest. So just so that way we put it on the right way. And center that right there. And then we're going to go and add some adhesive to both our pecan pie and our pumpkin pie pieces. There. Okay. We're going to layer our pecan pie piece about here, and our pumpkin pie piece about over here. And then for our crushed curry. We're going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on that. One up there. Okay, we're going to add that right in the middle, like so. And then we're going to take our happy birthday and we're going to place that right over that. And then we're going to embellish with our brushed brass butterflies. Let's see, we're going to add one over here. And let's see, one over here. And a little small one right up there. Okay, that's our second card. On to our third card. Okay, so for our final card, we have an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of Lost Lagoon cardstock scored at 4 1/4. We have a piece 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 Delightful Floral DSP. We have a 4 1/4 by 3 inch piece of basic white, and we have another piece of Delightful Floral DSP measuring 4 1/8 by 2 7/8, and this is just the reverse side of this pattern right here. And then we have a couple of scraps of basic white for doing our stamping and our die cutting. So to start, we're going to take our card base and go ahead and fold and burnish that. We're going to take our DSP and we're going to go ahead and adhere that to our base. So, okay, and then for our white piece, we're going to adhere this other side of the pattern paper onto that. Okay. So, and then we're going to take this and adhere it to the card base. Let's put that up there. Just going to go ahead and center that, like so. Okay, we'll set that aside, and now to do our stamping. So we are going to be using Parakeet Party, Calypso Coral, put these over here, and Lost Lagoon. Okay, so we're going to stamp our leaf image twice in Parakeet Party. Okay, we're going to go and clean this. And then we're going to stamp one in Lost Lagoon. Okay. And then for our two flowers, we're going to go and stamp those in Calypso Coral. Okay, let's go ahead and close these up. Okay, I'm going to bring back in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I will be right back. This is the part I'm going to speed up. Be right back. Okay, so let's bring in our card base, and then we got our leaves. Let's see, I'm going to actually snip off the stems on these leaves. So take them and snip them like that. And I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on the back of these. Okay. So we're going to adhere one right up here, and our other green one right down here. Our Lost Lagoon. I'm going to go ahead and put that right there. And then for our flowers, we're going to pop those up with dimensionals. And we're going to go ahead and adhere those like so. Okay, and then we're going to add some of our adhesive back sequins trio, and we're going to use these pretty peacock sequins. And add one here, here, and let's get a little one, and we'll put that right there. And then, okay, need some glue dots. And take one and put it right here at the base of this flower. Go ahead and move that paper backing. And then I'm going to bring in my linen thread And I'm going to tie a double bow. So I'm going to take a piece. So. And tie. Okay, we'll stick that right there. And we'll trim our ends. So. Okay, and there's our third card. So let me bring in our other two. So this was our simple card. And then this was our next stepped up card. And then here is our wow card. So thank you for joining me for another episode of Step It Up Saturday. I'm glad that you had joined me. I'll be back next Saturday with another episode of Step It Up Saturday. Thank you for joining me. Have a great night. Bye-bye.